Question 10, Part A. Winnie and Sophie were paid a total of $3,620 for a job. Winnie was paid $1,960 more than Sophie. How much was Winnie paid for the job? Okay, so Winnie was paid $1,960 more than Sophie. And then we know that in total, they are paid $3,620. So how much was Winnie paid for the job? So in a sense, we have 1 unit for both Winnie and Sophie. So that means 1 unit over here will then be 3620 minus 1960. And then we divide it by 2. This will be equal to $830. So Winnie is equal to 1 unit plus 1960 equal to 830 plus 1960. And this will be equal to $2,790. Okay, there you go. Question 10, Part B. Winnie and Sophie were paid a total of $3,620 for a job. Winnie was paid $1,960 more than Sophie. Winnie and Sophie were paid based on the number of days they worked. Winnie worked 3 times as many days as Sophie. Winnie was paid $5 more than Sophie per day. How many days did Sophie work? All right, so we know that Sophie is $830. And from here, Winnie worked 3 times as many days as Sophie. Okay, so Winnie worked 3 times as many days as Sophie. So that means Winnie total without the $5 more would then be equal to 830. Or in this sense, Winnie total is basically Sophie times 3 plus extra pay. So the extra pay is from the sentence Winnie was paid $5 more than Sophie. So in this case, we know Winnie's total, right? So Winnie's total is $2,790 and Sophie will be 830 and then times 3 and then plus extra pay, right? It's not extra pay, but extra pay lah. Okay, so in this 830 times 3, this would then be equal to $2,490. So from here, we actually can get the extra pay is basically 2790 minus 2490, and this will be equal to $300. So extra pay that Winnie received. So that means if Winnie paid $5 more than Sophie per day, that means in 1 day she was paid dollars. So in this sense, so Winnie received or was paid $300 more than Sophie, and Winnie was paid $5 more than Sophie per day. That means total days Winnie worked would then be equal to 300 divided by 5 is equal to 60 days. And then from here, Winnie worked 3 times as many days as Sophie. So Winnie is equal to 3 times of Sophie in terms of days. So Sophie then be Winnie divided by 3. Since we know Winnie worked 60 days, that means 60 divided by 3, this will give us 20. So therefore, Sophie worked for 20 days in total.